Next up is from Alex DP. Hey, John, I'm from the UK, and as of right now, on AMC's official runtime is showing at 3 hours and 2 minutes. I was wondering if this is a lock or if it is subject to change. I love you and should and appreciate all the hard work that you and your crew do.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex DP. And okay, so this is something that's been running amok all over the internet for the last 24 hours. Here's where it comes from. All right. There are screenshots being done of, and this came up on my show yesterday as well. There's a screenshot that started going around that AMC on their official landing page for Avengers Endgame had a runtime listed through 3 hours and 2 minutes. That immediately got taken down. So when I went to go look, it's not there. So if you go there now, it's not there. Now, let's be very, very clear about this. This has happened several times before, where a runtime for something has appeared either on a Fandango or on an AMC or on some other ticketing site, and it turned out that wasn't the case. This has happened before. It's happened on a couple of occasions, actually. So this is nothing new. And it's turned out that that wasn't actually the runtime. This notion that AMC accidentally published the runtime, well, I know the guys at AMC. And I know their process, and it's hard to believe that they accidentally let that. I mean, obviously there was a mistake made. Yes. Could 3 hours and 2 minutes be the actual runtime? It could. It could. There's a legitimate chance that it could. I put no weight in this, and I put no stock in this whatsoever. Now, then some people will say to me, but John, Fandango also confirmed that it's 3 hours and 2 minutes. Time out. No, they didn't. Here's what happened. Okay, look, I'm just giving you the facts. You can follow the facts and come to any conclusion you want. So this number, 3 hours and 2 minutes, popped up on the AMC site. They immediately took it down. Whether it's because they weren't supposed to let people know yet, or that was just a placeholder number, or that was just an assumption they got from somebody else, who knows? But AMC immediately went, oh, that's not supposed to be there, so they pulled it down. Now, what happened was a number of websites started running stories that confirmed Avengers Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes long. Well, no, nobody confirmed that, but they were referring to the fact that somebody took a screenshot of that, and that's what they saw. How Fandango plays into it is then Fandango saw the people running the social media part of Fandango saw on one of those major websites, almost major websites, saw on one of those websites them running the story based on the screenshot, and they said, oh, Avengers Endgame runtime 3 hours and 2 minutes, linking to that website's article. That was itself just referring back to the screen capture of the AMC thing, which is no longer there. So, could the runtime for Avengers Endgame, could the runtime for Avengers Endgame be 3 hours and 2 minutes? Yeah, it could. There's a possibility here.
Not
there
long
absolutely
enough.
is. There is absolutely a possibility here. But all I'm saying, though, is all these people running around now running headlines of confirmed Avengers Endgame runtime is 3 hours and 2 minutes. Follow the source. It all came from a screenshot that was immediately removed, that then got turned into a headline on a couple of websites, that the Fandango, whoever the guy is running the Fandango Twitter account, saw the headline that was based on a screenshot, and they wrote, oh, Avengers Endgame, 3 hours and 2 minutes, linking to that thing. This is not confirmed by any stretch of the imagination. Again, Rob, I'm not telling people here that there is no way that this movie is 3 hours, 2 minutes. There's an argument to be made that it is. There's a possibility that it is. All I'm telling people right now is pump the brakes on this whole thing. It's confirmed the movie is 3 hours and 2 minutes, because it is not in any way, shape, or form, under any definition, confirmed. When we've seen things like this where a runtime kind of showed up somewhere, turns out that wasn't the runtime. That's happened several times before. So could be. Now, let's remember, Rob, too. The Russo brothers said a couple of months ago that there's a good chance that this movie, Avengers Endgame, could come in around the 3 hour mark. They've already told us that. It could come in at 3 hours plus. I think it's just going to be a little bit shy of 3 hours. I'm guessing 2 hours, 55 minutes. That's just a guess, though. That's just pure speculation. And at the end of the day, we're talking about 7 or 8 minutes, right? We're talking about the difference of 7 or 8 minutes. But there's almost an optic to 3 hours. Now, for argument's sake, though, If Avengers Endgame is 3 hours and 2 minutes, if it is, it by a mile becomes the longest MCU film in history. Now,
Sure.
I'm just going to let you guys know there is conflicting information on runtime on different sites. Like Google will tell you one thing, IMDb will tell you another thing, another website will tell you another thing. So these runtimes may not be to the pinpoint exact because, like I said, different sources give different information on runtime. But generally speaking, here's what we're looking at. You're looking at the shortest movie in the MCU right now is Thor: The Dark World and Incredible Hulk at 1 hour and 52 minutes. That's pretty long for your shortest film, so that's not bad. And right now, the longest is Avengers Infinity War at a clocked in 2 hours and 20 minutes, so 2.5 hours long. Some listed as high as 240, some whatever. The consensus I found was 2 hours and 20 minutes, whatever it is. Bottom line is it's the longest one. Civil War, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Guardians 2, Winter Soldier, on and on. You can see the runtimes there. But you're looking at incremental jumps, right? So let's go down to Guardians of the Galaxy. 2 hours, 1 minute. Okay, the next jump up is only a 3-minute difference, 2 hours and 4. Again, 2 hours and 4. Then it jumps up 1 more minute to 2 hours and 5. Then it jumps up 5 minutes to 2 hours and 10. Another 2 hours and 10. Then it jumps 3 minutes to 2 hours and 13. Jumps 1 minute to 2 hours 14. Jumps 2 minutes to 2:16. On and on and on and on. If Avengers Endgame does clock in at 3 hours and 20 minutes, you're not looking at one of these incremental jumps, Robert. You're looking at like a 20-minute jump from the previous long one to the newest line. So, Rob, you're looking at all this. Number one, just off the top, though, do you think that the reports we're seeing around are 100% true? It's 3 hours and 2 minutes. And then what length would you like to see this movie at?
Well, I'd like to see this movie to be 6 hours and 38
I knew you were going to say that.
But look, this is the return of the king of the MCU. I mean, I think we're all going to sit there, no matter how long this is, and drink it all in. But look, I think that they don't know quite yet. I mean, we're basically, what's today's date? Today's the 26th.
We're 1 month away.
1 month away from when we see it, or when I see it at a press screening. You go to the premiere on the 25th. I'll see it the next morning, thanks to you. Thank you. And I think that we'll know soon enough, because they're going to have to, book these things, make their DCPs, distribute them all over the world. So, and they have to know, because they've got to program this thing. But, I think we'll know when we know, and whether it's 3 hours or whether it's 250 or 248 or whatever, I'm just more excited that we're getting the movie, that I get to see the movie a month from today, pretty much. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they do know, maybe they don't know. I think it's all speculation until it's not. I mean, I think it's funny how in fan circles we're always like, oh, here's a movie spoiler. I've really never believed in that, because the movie's been made for the last 2 years. They've been making it. So there is no such thing as a spoiler. It's just what we don't know. The people that made the movie know, and it's only a spoiler for us. Now, I don't even want to know how long the movie is when I go in, because I don't want to look at my watch, because I want to just have it roll over me. Point. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to be like, oh my God, there's only 28 minutes left. What's going to happen?
And you don't want to go, oh, this looks like it's the end of the film. But wait, I know there's another 18 minutes left. Yeah, so whatever's happening here, I know it's not the end. So yeah, this is an excellent point, Rob.
I mean, come on. What I don't understand is the movie's coming. Barring an asteroid smashing into North America, or me having a myocardial infarction and dropping dead on the street, which I hope doesn't happen at least in the next 30 days. May is fine, but I want to see Endgame. It could be my Endgame, but I want to see it before my Endgame shows up. And I don't need to know anything more. I don't want to know the running time. I don't want to see trailers. I don't want to see TV spots. I don't want to read one more. I don't want to watch one more YouTube speculation video. I just want to see the damn movie.
Oh, and once again, Rob has probably kicked a cable and knocked himself out. Oh, wait a second. Is he back? Are you back now, Rob?
I got you excited again.
I didn't touch anything. I kept my fingers. Maybe I was being censored by the powers that be.
Yeah, maybe.
I was just saying that, man, I just want to see this movie. I think we're all excited. I don't think I've been as excited to see this movie as I was when I saw, I mean, it was not until since I was a kid and The Empire Strikes Back was coming out have I wanted to see a movie so damn bad.
Yeah, it's a lot. But again, I just want to go back and touch on this amazing point that you brought up, Rob, which is, why is everybody obsessed with the running time? Because that in and of itself represents a major spoiler for you. Because again, if you're at 2 hours and 20 minutes and something climactic or could be climactic is happening on the screen, and you realize, oh, we still have a half hour to go in this movie. I now know this isn't the end. I now know this isn't going to happen, whatever it is that's threatening to happen. Like in essence, you are spoiling yourself by getting a sense of an exact run. Why does anybody even want to know? Just go in and watch the movie.
Look, I don't even care. I look, as a genre fan who's loved spoilers my whole life, you know, I've reached the point in my old age that I don't want to know anything about a movie that trailers tell me too much. I want to go into this movie and be surprised. I don't understand what the fascination is. Why do we have this weird spoiler society now? Like, I don't want to know. I didn't know what was going to happen in Empire Strikes Back. You know, and it was a revelation not knowing. I didn't know what was going to happen in Infinity War, except that it was called Infinity War and that who was in it. And I was blown away. I was blown away by Infinity War. I walked out of there feeling like I was 8 years old and that I could take on the world. I was so elated.
Yep. And, you know, the funny thing, though, here is, and I want to calm everybody down again, like, could it be 3 hours and 2 minutes? It could. But it is not a confirmation by any stretch of imagination. Again, we've seen this thing before and it's fallen apart. But I saw some people online yesterday. Well, I guess I'm Redboxing Endgame. And first of all, do people still use Redbox? Anyway, I don't know anybody that uses
Redbox.
Redbox.
Those people cool.
But I still think, I guess there's still a bunch of people who use Redbox, which is a cool service if that's what you like to use. But I saw a bunch of people saying, well, I guess I'm Redboxing it and stuff like that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get my Ray. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get Ray to go see it. And he's been dying for Endgame, but hearing that number, 3 hours, it's turning some. I've had some other people write in on the show, Robert. You've been on the show where some people write in saying, yeah, all my workmates at work are saying if it's over 3 hours, they're going to wait for it to come out on video and all that kind of stuff. And
sure they are.
Oh, no. Dude, there are. Like, not you and I, not the hardcore fans, but my mom's not going to go watch it at 3 hours. My mom's just not going to, she's just not going to go see it at 3 hours. She just won't.
Yeah, that's what I thought when Return of the King's coming out. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go see it because it's over 3 hours.
But you and I are different. You and I are different. We don't you and I do not represent.
2, it's over 3 hours.
You and I do not represent the average movie-going audience, though. You and I do not represent the average. And there are going to be people who don't go, and that's fine. But then there are other people who are like you and I, who hear 3+ hours, delicious.
Hell,
who
I'll
hear
bring
close
a
to 4
catheter,
hours,
man. I'll
delicious.
wear a bottle.
But it is going to have an effect on some people. But to those people, I would say, relax. It may not be. But again, it's going to be a matter of minutes. Like, even if it comes in at 2 hours and 57 minutes, well, it's only a 5-minute difference. But there's something about that symbolic when you tell somebody it's 3 hours. There's something symbolic about that. So I don't know. It might be a few minutes over. It might be a few minutes under. Who cares? I don't care. All I want, and you know, Kevin Feige said something a while ago, Rob, about this movie. Somebody was pestering Kevin Feige about how long is Endgame going to be? And all he said was, it's going to be the perfect length. He said,
goddamn right it is.
And Feige said, look, there are some 90-minute movies that feel like they're 3 hours. And there's some 3-hour movies that feel like they're 90 minutes. The important thing, Feige said, is not the runtime. The important thing is getting the right runtime. And he said, the runtime of Avengers Endgame is going to be the perfect runtime. And to me, that's all I need to hear. If that means that the movie is 2 hours and 10 minutes, then that's the perfect runtime for that movie. That's what I want it to be. If it's 3 hours and 2 minutes, then I believe that that's going to be the perfect runtime, and that's what I want it to be. I don't want them to make it longer just for the sake of being longer, but I also don't want them to make it shorter just for the sake of being shorter. I'm trusting Feige that's going to be the right length, and that, at the end of the day, to me, is the most important thing. So,
yep,
1 month! 1 month away, ladies and gentlemen, till we get to see this thing. Hang tight. All right.